Hey everybody, it's Roger from Roger's Reviews, and today we're going to be talking about equipment needed for the tree service and what equipment to be eliminated to make everything simple. When you are in operation with a tree service, there's a few little quick things that you need to know and things to avoid in order to stay in business during the slow times. A lot of the guys like to go out and take out a bunch of loans and get all the fancy equipment and the biggest, baddest equipment they can get. Some people are self-funded. Some people get their own loans. Sometimes it's hard to understand how these tree service pop up and you've never seen them before, and they have $1 million or $2 or $3 million of equipment, and they don't seem to be working too much. So don't get discouraged. Just don't worry about what the other guy's doing. Worry about yourself, because I've seen it in the past where people come out to start a new business, they've got backers, and they're spending more money and investing more money than they'll ever make. Don't follow those steps, especially if you're on a small budget. I've done pretty much everything. I've had 3 different loader trucks. I eliminated my loader trucks. I've got a buddy that owns a crane, so I never bought a crane. Crane's the last thing that you ever want to get. I'm never going to get one. First of all, they're expensive. Secondly, the insurance is too expensive. It's over $10,000 for insurance just for a crane. Also, 9 times out of 10, you're going to need a CDL just to operate the crane. So you're going to have to pay a guy a CDL wage just to follow you around if you need him or not. And chances are you're going to take the crane with you no matter where you go, even if you don't need it, because you want the most for your money. You're going to try to use that crane even if you don't need it, just because you have it. And you're going to be paying someone to follow you around that you don't need to follow, and you're going to pay huge insurance. We use a crane probably maybe once a month if we're lucky, once every 3 months. And what we've done is pretty much eliminated a lot of the bigger tree work because it's just too dangerous. It's hard on the equipment, and people really don't want to pay what it's worth to do the bigger tree work. So we've been able to eliminate the necessity of having all that humongous equipment like loader trucks, huge front end loaders, bobcats, swingers, all that big stuff that all the big tree services have. And then if you have a big loader or swinger or humongous machine that loads those logs, you have to have a separate trailer for it and at least a 1 ton or bigger to pull it, and another CDL operator to pull it with. So you eliminate that whole situation. What we've done is we have everything we need with one driver. We have either, depending on the job, we have a bucket truck. We converted the back to store all our equipment. And then we have a small stand-on skid steer. We prefer Ditch Witch SK800 or equivalent. And then we have a small Bandit ZT1844 stump grinder, which does about 90% of our stumps. If we have anything bigger that's going to wear out our machine, we call out a bigger stump grinder. So with that setup, we can pretty much do 90% of all our work by ourselves. We converted our equipment trailer to debris hauler. We fastened large 4-foot walls on top of the edge rail. So actually it's about over 5 feet tall. Also keeps your equipment from the weather from hitting them, because you can always add a tarp to the top. It conceals all your equipment, keeps them a little bit safer. We've incorporated a couple different attachments that we made in our metal fab shop, so we can trim. We have a cage that fits on our mini skid that we can trim with a long extended range pole saw about 30 feet. So if you can't get in the backyard with a big machine, we have a man lift that will basically attach to our skid steer and basically trim almost anything you need to trim from the ground. I climb, so if you have a climber that has a driver's license They can pull all your equipment, and you can have 1 or 2 ground men. So we have one ground man that rides with me, and he does all the groundwork. Well, after I'm done in the bucket or done, climbing, I come down and I run the skid steer, and we take turns running the stump grinder. He does most of the stump grinding. Once I hit the ground, whatever skid steer work is needed, I usually try to jump on that, and then I help with the raking. So 2 men basically do 90% or 95 or 99% of all our jobs. So if you want to make your overhead low, basically another thing you can do is go to a temp service, hire everybody through the temp service. Even if you have guys that work for you currently, if you basically want to get totally legal and you want to eliminate some of the workers' comp issues and things like that, you can go through a temp service and basically have all your employees make a deal with the guy who owns the temp service. Say, hey, do you mind if we run our payroll through your temp service? And that way you guys are covered with insurance. The guys can sign up for insurance, medical, dental, all that stuff will be covered. So you can be 100% perfect. You can have workers' comp, you can have insurance for your guys, you can do float for your payroll, because a lot of times they'll float. They'll also too do direct deposit, or they'll give them a debit card. They can have access to their cash a day or 2 beforehand. They don't have to wait for a check. As soon as that time rolls around, the money is deposited in their account. Your employees will be happier. They'll get paid early. They'll have an option to have full benefits. They can also, deposit. They can have Robinhood or Cash App, and they can deposit that money right directly to their account. And a lot of these younger guys like Cash App or Robinhood. So basically, they don't even need to. They can eliminate that debit card from the payroll company. It goes directly into their personal account, and they can use it. Like, if your payday's Friday, they get it on Wednesday night or Thursday morning. So they have access to their cash 2 days or 3 days earlier. They don't have to wait and go to the bank, cash their check, and all that stuff. And if it just eliminates a lot of problems. So if you want to keep your tree service simple and you just want to basically maximize your profits and minimize your expenses, that's how you do it. Stay small and keep it all. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please crush the like button. And I try to keep these things short, and I try not to keep them more than 10 minutes. I know you guys are busy and you need to go out there and make money. So I try to keep it short, sweet, and not pack too much information. Just try to stick to 1 or 2 basic concepts and go from there. So anyway, this is Roger. I run Tree Life Tree Service, Tree Life 1 LLC out of Jacksonville and Orange Park, Florida. I've been in the tree service for around 20 years. So I've had run over 100 employees. I've done the climbing, the groundwork, machine work, crane work, bucket work, ran about every saw there is known, almost every piece of equipment. I don't know it all. I haven't done everything, but I've done most of it. So if you guys have any questions or comments or concerns, leave them in the bottom. I try to get to the questions and comments as much as possible. Usually I'm so busy I have to do it on the weekends, but I try to read every comment. I try to reply to every comment that I can, especially if it has to do with tree work. So get a mini skid steer, and get a small stump grinder, and get a trailer, build up the sides, put a couple ramps on there, find a good fabricator that you can work with, because you're going to need them a lot. There's a lot of little tricks and tweaks that you can do with the trailer to make it super, super efficient. You only need 2, possibly 3 men to run your whole tree service, and you can be one of those people. Get a temp service, payroll service that you run all your people through. It helps with taxes. It helps with float your payroll. It will help you so much. So do those few simple things and try it out. and I promise you, you'll thank me later. Have a great day. God bless.